So what you have to do is you have to prepare one handouts. Okay, I'll share the handouts templates as well. And the next one is the similar way how we have done the SC lab documentation. In the similar way, we are going to do the documentation also. Same thing, whatever we have followed in software engineering lab, all the things again we are going to mention in many projects also. One more document we are preparing in the similar way. Okay, the similar way we are doing it. And the next one is project execution. All batches should execute the projects. So whatever the topic and the title you have selected, and you should be ready with your execution. And you need to bring your own device. Okay, you have to bring your own device. So in a batch, suppose if 3 members are there, any one member also if they bring the own device for explanation of the project, so it is good. Okay, so bring your own device. Why? Because you will have the entire project code and source code in your device itself. So if you want to give the presentation, we will provide one device here. You can copy your presentation into that and you can start explaining it. It's a presentation I am telling. Okay, it's a presentation based on your project explanation. It will be extended to 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or 10 minutes also you can finish. Suppose if it is very very much confusing when you are explaining the topic, it will take up to 15 to 20 minutes. Still it is confusing, it will extend it to 30 more minutes again. Okay, so it's purely on the presentation. So how you are going to present your topic. Once you are done with the presentation, then they will take the queries. So you need to justify the queries. Okay, you need to justify the queries. So once the justification is done, then you are supposed to leave the presentation. Okay, so I'll share that information as well. So we are going to do the 4 things. First, I am going to show you this one. Yeah. I hope you are able to see my screen, right? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah. So these are the guidelines you need to follow. Arrangement of the contents, cover page, title, certificate, acknowledgement, abstract, table of contents, list of tables and list of figures, chapters and bibliography you will have. And if you are having any queries, you can refer this specifications, page dimension, typing and binding specifications. Okay, and preparation of the format, how to do it. So like this, we are having certain set of rules when you are doing the project documentation, and most of the contents are available with you as a part of software engineering lab documentation. Okay, so here this is a mini project format, how you are going to do. So rules and regulations I will
Sir, you are not audible.
the documentation template also I will share here with you. These documents you have received right already, but this you need to make it. Acknowledgements is not there in the SC lab documentation. You need to add this acknowledgement section. Okay, this document you need to add basically acknowledgements. Fine. And remaining everything is there with you, and follow the certificate flow. Okay, and arrange the text and each and every information as per the allotment, so which is done from coordinators end, so the supervisors and each and everything. So as you are doing it first time, just I will tell you, this is the front page. So each and everything is mentioned here clearly, Times New Roman 16, Times New Roman 14. Okay, like this you have. And next one, so this is like we are the students, who are they and who is your guide. Suppose if anyone is assigned with the guide, so with my name, if anyone is assigned by the guide, like you should take my name here. So under the guidance of, if anyone is like assigned with the guide name and Saujanya madam, so MRS B Saujanya or R Sandeep. Like that you need to. Guide name you need to take. Declaration by the candidates. And so these are the 3 names of the candidates. And next one, declaration by the certificate by the supervisor. Means this is the guide. Okay, your guide certificate this is. So don't keep my name every time. So I am the project coordinator. I am not the project supervisor. So you should keep project supervisor name here. Supervisor means guide. So guide name you need to keep here. Don't keep my name and take the printout. Okay. So read it carefully. Certificate by the supervisor means certificate by the project guide. Who is your guide? That guide name you have to mention here. And next one, certificate by the head of the department. Here, HOD madam name should come. Okay, certificate by the head of the department. Fine, and acknowledgements. So here acknowledgements. So add principal name here. So that change is there. Okay, so you can add principal name here. Dr. Prabhuji Benakop. So you can add this one here. So the principal, and remaining everything is same. No more changes in this document. Only the principal name you are going to change here in this document. And next, obviously, the abstract, introduction, table of contents, and each and everything will be there. So list of figures, list of tables, and you are quite familiar with this formatting. Why? Because you have done already with the software engineering lab, right? So same flow we will follow. Whatever you have done in the software engineering lab, same you can maintain. Are you getting my point? For the documentation, same thing. No more changes in the documentation. One more copy you are doing for your application. That's it. Exactly, you have to prepare SC documentation how you prepared. In the similar way you have to prepare for mini project also. Are you getting my point? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Same documentation format. If you refer the document, and if you do as per the document also, no issues for me. Okay. Okay, so what is the difference you will have? Screenshots, you will take your mini project screenshots here and you will keep. Their application screenshots are there, and here you will take your project screenshots. And sample code, you will keep your project sample code. Okay, and UML diagrams for your project you will do. Okay, UML diagrams, not all the UML diagrams, because time is very less, right? So that's the reason you should do only few UML diagrams. So I'm posting it here: class, use case, and sequence, class, use case, sequence, and activity. These 4 are enough. Class diagram, use case diagram, sequence diagram, and activity diagram. These 4 diagrams are enough for the mini projects. Okay. So not all the 9 diagrams. Now don't go with all the 9 diagrams. So these diagrams, if you understand also, it is very good. Class, use case, sequence, and activity. So these 4 diagrams you have to keep in the mini project documentation. Fine, as a part of UML documentation. Same flow you follow for the mini projects as well. How you have followed for the SC documentation. There also we have the title, problem statement, abstract, introduction, literature survey. Okay, and the design, system design we have, system implementation we have. Okay, and the system testing we have, and the conclusion, references. Finally, appendix. So in that you are having research paper from where you got this idea. And SRS, no need. Don't add SRS for the mini projects. Okay, and don't add the list of abbreviations also. You can take out them. So I am typing everything in the chat box also. Don't add SRS for mini projects and list of abbreviations. Okay, don't add SRS and list of abbreviations, and you should add paper. You can add research paper at the end. Okay, you can add research paper at the end. Yeah. So for mini projects also you will have the research paper. SC lab, if you are having research paper or not, it is okay. But mini projects you will have. Why? Because from where you got that idea? Is it your own idea? Obviously, it is not your own idea. You copied from somewhere and you have taken reference from somewhere. So that's the reason mini and major projects will have definitely research papers. Okay, definitely it will have the research paper. You need to find one research paper for your title. Because that is not your idea, right? You need to find one research paper for your project. So same documentation, how you are following SC documentation, in the similar way you are going to follow the mini project documentation, and just you are adding these 4 UML diagrams. Fine. Once you are done with SC and OS lab external exam only, you will have the mini projects. So in between you will have the break, like 2 to 3 days you will get. Fine. So this is the one set, like dissertation part you are going to do. Fine. So this is the dissertation part you are going to do. And the second one is the presentation. We are calling it as an handouts. Handouts. Okay. So how to prepare the mini project final PPT. Okay, see this. Fine. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you see this. The project presentation, how you have to do. First one is this page. So 3 members' names will be there. Okay, roll numbers, names, and role in the team. What is your role in the team? And you have submitted this document to me already. And what is the batch number? So you have even batch numbers also with you. And who is your guide under the guidance of? And who is the project coordinator? So the project coordinator name and the guide name and the batch information. And this is your project team information. Then the second page is an abstract. So you will tell about abstract. And third page will be the contents. So what are the contents you are going to explain in the presentation? Fine. So the introduction, existing system, proposed system, and facilities required, and the modules. Means what are the modules you have implemented? Where in SC lab you will not have this as a part of implementation. Modules you will have in the mini projects. What are the modules you have implemented? Okay. So the modules you need to keep. These modules only during the final presentation, they will focus more. External examiner will focus more on modules. What are the modules are there in your project? Okay, so that modules you have to find it out. Next, the UML diagrams you will add. And finally, the conclusion and the references you will put as a part of the presentation. So introduction and existing system disadvantages and proposed system advantages, and facilities required for doing this project, software and hardware requirements. Okay, and system design. So till this point you have submitted already. Most of the batches have submitted the documentation, but you need to create a richer content. Okay, so look and feel of the presentation should be good when you are creating the documentation, like a PPTs, final handouts. Now here, system design. You are talking about an architecture diagram and the UML diagrams. Class, use case, sequence, and activity you are keeping here in the system diagram. And one architecture you are going to make it. One architecture diagram. So these are the 4 design you will explain. Then you are identifying modules like this. What are the modules? So they have implemented one game which is related to the like 2 pedals they have and 1 ball. So they have to score based on the ball motion. Fine. So implementation, the modules, what modules you have, and each and every module you will explain. Finally, the screenshots of the application which you have created. So these screenshots you will explain, and conclusion and the future scope, and any queries, bibliography and the final queries. That's it. Most probably 25 PPTs you will have for each and every presentation. Mostly you will get 25 PPTs. So this final template also I will share. Accordingly, you have to prepare. Okay, final PPT also I will share. So this is not a final one, like based on the application, the PPTs will change. Based on the application, the PPTs will change. And so once you are done with the presentation, this PPT's preparation, you need to take final approval from your guide itself. If your guide signs this documentation, then only you are supposed to allow for the presentation. If there is no signature or there is no confirmation from the respective project supervisor, okay, then the student and the batch will not be entertained for the presentations. Please make a note of it. Okay, when you are coming for external lab exams, so final day, you meet all the guides. Anyway, after completion of the operating system lab, so you'll be getting 3 days time, like that you will get 3 to 4 days time you will be getting. So within the 2 to 3 days you will finalize each and everything, and you take the signatures on the document and you take the signatures on the handouts also. You take the signatures on the document and handouts, then you can submit the final documents when you are coming for final external, because the external examiner also will ask, give me your documentation, I will check. Okay, maybe in the software engineering lab, maybe the external examiner will check, or we may check or we may not check about the final record. But in case of the mini projects, each and every documentation will be verified by external examiner. Okay, so that's the reason the documentation you should do it. So how you have done it for SC lab, in the similar way you do it. So I'm very much happy if you do like that. Okay, because you have done really wonderful documentation as a part of software engineering lab. So most of the students have learned lot of things during the documentation process. So if you do in the similar way, it's more than sufficient for SC lab. Okay, so most of the batches have learned lot of things during the documentation. So similar approach you follow for the mini projects lab, mini projects documentation as well. And handouts I will share, as per that you arrange the content. If you are getting any inputs from your guide or suggestions from the guide, you can incorporate the changes in the final presentation, final handouts or final PPT. You can incorporate all those changes. So based on the guide from the suggestions from the guide or inputs from the guide, you can modify this documentation little bit. But these contents will be there till the end of the final presentation. Okay, till the end of the final presentation you will have. Fine. So modifications will be allowed based on the input from the guides. Are you getting my point? So this is one story, and final one is final phase is a execution. You should be ready with your project execution, and you should get it in your own device itself. Okay, so you get all the required files and the softwares install, and you just show it to the external examiner. And at the time of external examination, you should not tell us, so the application is getting crashed and application is frequently hanging and I'm not able to open an application, and this format which I have created is till now it is accessible, but during the presentation I'm not able to open the documentation. So such kind of issues you should not get. If you are getting any issue, the issue should be strong. Okay, and you should not tell silly things. I forgot to copy in pen drive, I will go and get it now. No, such kind of things will not be entertained. And you should not tell the format is not supported in your system, it is supporting in my system. Then you should get your system only and you should connect. Okay, so such kind of excuses we will not allow during the presentation. Technical issues from your end. Okay, technical issues from your end. If it is a chronic, then only we will see. Okay, or else we will not allow. Maintain the multiple copies. I am clearly telling, multiple times I saw the project presentations, and multiple times we have faced a lot of issues when we are taking final external presentation. Most of the issues are related to the formatting of the files which they have maintained. Okay, and one more thing is, check once only before coming for the execution, like a project to presentation, check once only the execution of the program, and don't keep all the time the system is like switched on till the end of the presentation. So if you do like that, so unfortunately what will happen, when you are running the program, at that time it will stuck due to the more load on the processor. it will be overheated. Such a long time you are using it, it will be overheated. And when you are, if you want to run in front of the external examiner, if you open the file, at that time it will start. These are the experiences which I have come across in many of the presentations. Okay, so that you don't do. When you are coming for the presentation, once you check, that's it. It is executed, fine, finish it. Before, suppose if your one batch is giving the presentation, at that time you switch on your device and you check one more time and you show the execution to the project external. That's it, not more than that. Okay, if you are giving the presentation on time, suppose if you are coming for the presentation on time, and if you are like carrying all of the documents with you, and you are showing the execution and you are submitting the required documents during the presentation, no one will stop, and you will also not have any issues. If you are making it more complex, I will make it more complicated. Okay, if you are doing it in simple way by following all of our instructions, then I'll definitely, so if any sort of issues are there also, we will address during the presentation. But if you are making it complex, we will complicate it. Why? Because each and every point I am explaining you in detail. What are the things you have to maintain? Okay. So that's the reason. So what I am expecting, you give it to me. That's it. Fine. This is about the presentation. So you need to deliver 3 members. So when you are giving the presentation, what are the things you have to do also I will tell. So suppose here in this batch, this girl is a team leader. So first team leader will start the presentation. Basically, you need to wish the, when you are starting this presentation, what you have to do is, first you will display this slide and you will project this slide. Then you will tell your title and you will introduce yourself. Okay, and you will wish the panel members also. Okay, like project coordinators will be there. So guide may not be available during the presentation, may or may not be. So the panel members will be there and external examiner will be there. And you should project this slide and you should tell your topic. Then you should wish the panel members first. Then you should start the presentation. And the team leader will introduce the other team members in a batch. Suppose if I am giving a presentation, just I will enter into the presentation and I will tell like myself Sandeep, today I am going to give the presentation on the virtual paddle game. So here are my team members. Okay, the 2 members names, I will introduce them. And straight away the team leader will start. Suppose if you are assigning the task to the second person, then you will tell. So always the team leader will introduce the team and you will tell next the introduction part will be explained by my team member. Then they will start, and next once is done with the presentation and the next part will be continued by my team member. Okay, the next part will be continued by my team member. You will take out his name and you will hand over the presentation to that person. And again, so in that way you need to do professional. You have to do it in professional way. Wish the panel members, tell the topic, and the team leader will introduce the team members, and each and every person name you have to take out when you are handovering the presentation to the next person. Okay, and it should not be like randomly one person is coming and is starting some like a project presentation from the middle, and you are getting down and one more person is coming and he is starting. So it won't look like that. Professional way you have to do it. Okay, each and everything you have to maintain properly, and formal dress only you should wear when you are coming for the presentation. Formal dress, ID card, tuck in. Okay, each and everything you have to follow. On the dash and will be the off the dash. Fine. So we will take some metrics when we are evaluating the project. Like the first metric will be the communication skills. And second one will be the professionalism, how you are going to do. And third one is an how you are delivering the technical content. And fourth one will be the project execution, so how you are going to do. And fifth one will be the handouts, preparation of the handouts. And the sixth one will be the project dissertation. These are the main metrics we will consider: communication skills and the professionalism when you are talking about the presentation. Okay, and the next one, technical content, how much technical knowledge you are having. And the next one, how you are going to execute. Okay, how you have prepared your handouts, and what is your final dissertation talk about. So these are the 6 main metrics we will consider when you are giving a final presentation. Anyways, I am recording this session. One more time also you can come across this session. Fine. So this is about the presentation. If you have any queries, you can raise the queries here itself.
Sir, I have a little doubt.
Hmm.
Actually, I'm working on web development, like creating a college website,
Hmm.
our college website. So, should I add a research papers? Like, I don't know, should we have?
College website, from where you got that idea? What you are doing to do? All
Ac-
websites are there, but
Yeah,
what is your
actually,
website?
actually, we are making a responsive college website where we can,
How?
where where we get a feature of a comment forum. Like anybody can comment there, and we have a contact us form. So anybody have any queries, so they can send their queries to the admin.
No, then previous scenario, what it is? Previously, such kind of websites are not there.
I don't know, sir, about the previous
That
who
you
made
have
it.
to find it out now. So you
Okay,
will
sir.
ask during your presentation. Remember one thing: whenever you are explaining the project, the first question that will be raised during the presentation is from where you got this idea, and do you think that this idea is not implemented. Okay, this idea is not implemented previously anywhere. Okay, so suppose if I am telling I am creating one game. Okay, suppose if I am creating one snakes and ladders game, if I am creating, imagine. So the snakes and ladders game is there already, so multiple applications are there. If we browse, we will get. Then what is the special way of doing your snakes and ladders game? What Why you have created this game? Previously also it is there. Now what is the reason behind developing this game, and in my almost spending 20 to 30 hours of time on the coding part of this game? Why you have wasted unnecessarily your time? Previously it is there, why you have wasted? Such kind of questions they raise during the presentation. Then you need to justify it. If you want to justify, you need back document, support document you should have. Then only you can talk about. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
One person is talking about I am doing one project in image processing. Okay, do it. Image processing, suppose image processing you are doing. Okay, do it. But the image processing techniques are there. A lot of image processing techniques are there previously. What you are doing now newly? Are you adding anything or extra thing is there? You are going to add any feature? So like that they will ask. So we will not expect questions like simple queries during the presentation. At that time, 3 members in a batch should be with the same statement. No oppose. Everyone should support. Suppose if I am explaining the topic, you should support your friend, and you should not tell on the dais, no, like we are not doing like that. We should not tell. No, that is different. Not we are doing in that way. Even though if it is wrong, then we need to support basically. Okay, it will be like 5 to 10 minutes only. Everything will be over. Based on the responsiveness to the queries, everything will be over. Within 5 to 10 minutes, everything will be over. Basically, you will be in tensed. So that's the reason I'm telling. The questions we are like, from where you got this idea? In previous scenario, you are telling existing system, right? So what they have done, and now what you are doing. So those are the things you need to keep in mind when you are doing the final presentation. Okay, if you are still confusing the panel members, then he will ask you to show the execution. Bring your device and show me the execution. What you are doing, I will check, he will tell. Suppose if I am telling, sir, we have implemented this code in Python. Okay, then you know the Python code programming. So from where you have learned the Python programming. So that he will ask. So like as a part of curriculum, anyway, you are having Python. Suppose if you are having any frameworks, when you are going with Python, any framework you have used, they will ask, what is this framework, from where you have learned this framework? Okay, then at that time you should tell either you learn it from the self-paced courses, or you have learned it from the Udemy or any other platforms you have learned. That you need to take out. If still you are confusing that person, he will ask, write a sample piece of code on the board, he will ask. Okay, and sometimes what will happen, you know, you will prepare. Basically, you will split it when you are giving the presentation. So I will tell this part, you will tell this part, and this person will tell this part, you will split like that. But what will happen, you know, sometimes the external will have the flexibility to pick the person and start explanation. If you are more responsive to the queries, he will ask you to get down the dais, you stand there, and he will pick the two persons, and now you people will tell me what you are thinking about this project. They will ask like that. Okay, if you show overreact also, if you are overreacted also, then it will be the negative. For each and everything you want to tell, for each and everything you want to respond, then it will be the it will be putting trouble for the other members as well in the team. He will ask you to stop, you don't talk till the end of the presentation. These two fellows will explain the presentation. At that time, the other two members will be in the risky zone. Okay, you should not be over responsive. Limited statements only you should use during the presentation. If you are finishing one statement, it should not give an opportunity for the next question. Okay, suppose if you are telling like high level, if you want to talk, you will talk high level, but that will give an opportunity for the multiple questions during the presentation. So that if you are able to handle, then only you can take out those statements and words. If you are not able to handle, don't go for such kind of things. Okay, I have made use of the Flask framework for implementing this Python project. Then he will ask what is Flask and from where you have learned this Flask. Then at that time you will have to come across multiple technical terminology again. These are very simple things, but when you are talking, we have to control the statements and the technology. You should frame a sentences in such a way that the external examiner should ask a question that will be a pre-planned answer, you know, already for that. In that way, you need to talk. Okay, so pre-planned query you are expecting from an external, and you are giving an answer in the similar way. In that way, you need to plan. Don't over excited. Okay, and don't over responsive. Huh? Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. These are very, very useful tips. So within fraction of seconds, it will happen. You know, if I am asking any query, you will tell randomly some answer, but it will put you in trouble. All of the batch will be in the trouble at that time. So think and talk. And presentation also should be crisp, short and crisp. That's it. Don't use too much sentences in the handouts. Lengthier one, definitions not required. Little one line of statement. Finish one statement. If you want to talk more, you explain it more on your own. Okay, it should be simple and crisp. That's it. If you want to talk more, you talk. So the I can read English, panel members can read English, you can read English. What is the need of keeping 10 to 50 lines in one presentation? Yes or no? 10 to 15 lines, if you are keeping in one slide, what is the need? I can read English. If you are reading from there, can't I read? I'm expecting more from the project. Basically, less text, more voice. Less text and more voice. That's the best way of doing the presentations. Yeah. Isham, rule number 60. What is your query? Mute yourself.
No, sir, nothing, sir.
Yeah. So that's it. That's it about the presentation. As you are doing it the first time, so I have discussed so many things. Okay. So
Sir,
we'll
this
give one sample presentation to your guide as well before coming for the main presentation. If he is okay, just explain him clearly. Fine. So that's about the presentation and the documentation and the execution. So open for queries.
So like how many slides maximum we can keep in the presentation?
Told na 25.
25. Okay. So even the coding part we can keep. So like in the last.
What recording part?
No, coding part.
No, I am not getting the word which you are telling.
Code, sir.
Coding not required. Coding not required. You will not have coding. I will share that template also. Just you go through it.
Okay, sir.
So can we add videos and GIF files?
30 seconds. 30 seconds, 60 seconds. That's it. Not more than that. Maximum 60 seconds. Dhanush, right?
Yes, sir.
Maximum 60 seconds. It's up to you. It's your creativity. There is no cap on that. There is no cap on creativity. There is no cap on innovative ideas and creativity. And one thing you have to follow, very basic I am telling. If the person who is setting 20 rows back also, you should comfortably see your presentation. In that way you should make. Suppose if I am sitting 10 rows back and you are presenting almost 10 feet in 10 feet distance, you are presenting the PPT. So I should comfortably read your text from the backside also. I should comfortably see the image. I should comfortably identify what you are using in use case. Okay, if you are in use case diagram, so if you are keeping one use case and inside of that you are writing enter pin number, I should comfortably read from even 10 feet distance also. So whatever the presentation you are doing, you should follow this. Even from 10 feet distance or even from 10 rows backsides also, I can sit and I can comfortably read the text which you have displayed in the projector. Okay, that's the main and fundamental way of doing the presentations. And instantly you should not do any modifications. Consider it as a final one. It's better if you get the PDF version, convert the PPT into PDF, so that no more modifications will be entertained in the final presentation. Comfortably you can also explain, and you should not confuse these slides. I have prepared something and here I am getting one more slide which shifted to the next slide, like you will think. Okay, if you make the PDF, then it will be easy for you to explain also. Comfortably you can scroll down. And one more fundamental topic is you should get the project diary. Get the project diary, and the external examiner will verify the project diary. How many times you have visited for doing this project, he will verify. Basically, everyone has to maintain the project diary. I told you multiple times. Now also, project diary, your checklist before presentation is project handouts, a laptop with project execution code, and handouts in the pen drive and the project diary. And formal dress. Okay, if anything is missing from these 5, then you will be out of the presentation. Okay, formal dress and the execution part with you, handouts and the project dissertation. Okay, and handouts in the pen drive. So these 5 things you have to maintain. So I'll share all of the documents. Okay, in the group itself, one common URL I will share. I will compress the file and I will share all of these documents. So thoroughly go through it. Word document is also there in that. And make use of SC documentation for final dissertation. In the similar way you do it. In the similar way you do it. So how you have done for the SC lab, the final dissertation you can do it. Why? Because you will not have that much like a complexity. Why? Because front pages are ready, right? Anyway, your team member's name will be there. Just you need to change the title in the front page. That's it. Check the certificates carefully. Here the certificate headings will change. Certificate by the supervisor, certificate by the head of the department, certificate by the candidates you will have. But lab headings are different. Certificate by lab in charge, certificate by the HOD, certificate by the candidates you will have. Check those certificate headings also. Everything I will share.
Okay, sir.
Everything I will share, no issues. Still any queries? 5 minutes I will wait and I will close the session. If you have any queries, you can raise the queries. So 2 video recordings also I will post in the